Hello everyone, it's day 83. Today I started out working on VOHPS. I'm going to say the acronym just because it's shorter. I implemented the sticky nav bar. I removed some links in the footer that weren't needed. What else did I do? I played with like the height of the nav bar and all that because I noticed once you added sticky navigation, it made it really crowded in mobile view for whatever reason. And I also worked on my portfolio. I finished the About Me section. I stayed with like the little 2 sentence bio just because one, I couldn't think of anything else to write. And it just seemed like enough. It was only, I kept the technical only stuff. So I feel that's all that I need. I also finished the contact section. I was able to connect the form to FormSpree. The problem with FormSpree though is once you hit submit, it redirects you to like a thank you page on FormSpree's website, which it opens in a new tab at least. But then when you hit the back button, your form is still populated with whatever the user put in. So I actually found a YouTube video and he showed you how to work around this. It's actually, I had seen it like in the FormSpree. Like when you connect the form, it gives you like the website link to put in your method or post. Method or post. One of the two, you put the website in, and that's where your information, your form gets sent to. And it had a box at the bottom that had like, it said Ajax or whatever, but I didn't think any of them applied to me, but I forgot Ajax is like a part of JavaScript. So anyway, if you copied the code, well, some of the code in there, some of the code I didn't even need, it changes the default behavior of the form. So when you hit submit, it checks if there's valid input or checks if the form can be sent or whatever. And then I added like validation at the bottom, form is sent successfully. Because I always seen in portfolio reviews that they say it's nice to like show the user that their form really got sent and then just like disappear into the abyss. And it's also better when like your form doesn't redirect you somewhere else, like you stay on that same page or whatever. So that was cool. But yeah, implemented that. I actually added the class list.toggle statement inside of the code that I copied from the little FormSpree link, so you can add the functionality to it. And then I tweaked something else. Oh, it has somewhere in there form.reset, which I didn't know about that function, but apparently if you just put that, it just resets your whole form. I know when I was doing forms in JavaScript, I would like literally go through and add like a function that individually cleared each section or each input field in the form, but like there's a method just empties the whole form. So that was cool to find out. But yeah, so I got that and I tested it out, sent a couple, like 4 emails to myself once I finally got it right. What else did I do? Oh, I added VOHPS, the desktop screenshot, because as far as I'm concerned, like I don't think at least the hero section, how that's gonna look, that's not gonna change. So I just went ahead and added the screenshot to my portfolio, added the link to my GitHub for that repository and the live link. So that's my one portfolio project. It currently says in progress just because still we haven't gotten together, which we haven't really set a date yet to get together and set up her scheduling site so I can link to it. And then also like get it hosted and so I can like have her URL rather than my GitHub URL to it or whatever. But anyway, what I have so far is up there. I did also added like some cool hover transitions on my portfolio. So like my mobile nav bar has a cool one. The hero section has a cool one. And then my button hover states, they all have the same hover transition or whatever, because I just wanted to keep it like uniform. But yeah, so like I decided not to do like when you scroll and like the paragraphs come sliding in. I don't know, that was just doing too much for me. I just want like little subtle stuff. Like my portfolio, I wanted like that clean look, but like when you click on something, it's like a little surprise. So like that's the kind of look I was going for. What else? Oh yeah, I also started redeveloping the Notes app. I renamed it Talk to Do. I couldn't think of anything cooler, so that's just what I got. And I already have the repository, so the name stays. But yeah, so I posted that video. The reason I posted the video is because I made it in CodePen. Like, I made it really just practicing speech recognition, not knowing like it was gonna build into something that cool. So I decided to actually turn it into a real project or whatever. So I didn't just copy and paste into JavaScript because like I'm kind of rebuilding the design and like kind of refactoring the code and all that or whatever. So far I got the UI for just like when you add a to-do, what that looks like, what each little to-do item looks like. I also implemented the dark mode, so I added a dark mode toggle to it. I know I had posted those two separate projects, but I kind of combined the two. So yeah, the dark mode toggle, that works. It inverts the background color, and then each individual like label for each to do, it inverts the colors basically. I do think I may run into a little bit of difficulty just because right now I hard coded the HTML just for like one to do, just to style it. But I think what I want to do is dynamically create it, like probably set it up using Webpack and all that. So like my actual HTML page will probably be empty and like I do it all in JavaScript. I'm just wondering how dark mode would work with that. Oh, and I just thought about it. Never mind. I know exactly how I can do it. I know I can target the whole background, but like I would have to add like an event listener for the toggle button inside that method, call the class for all the to-dos, query selector all, and then just put like a for each loop or whatever, and then add, change the background color to all of them all at once. And then when I toggle off, it does the same thing and flips it or whatever. So never mind, I just answered my own question. But yeah, so like I kept, for the side project in my portfolio, I kept like toggling back and forth between the two projects. Like I would think I was done for the moment with one, and then I go check my GitHub on my phone for like the latest update after I made a commit, and then look at it. I would like find like flaws or like spacing issues, link colors that I didn't change and all that kind of stuff. So I kept going back and fixing it. Think I was done, I'd gone to something else, and I just kept going back and forth, back and forth. So hopefully tomorrow I'll go back through and see like whatever I missed or whatever, and I'll go ahead and share a link to my portfolio. I don't really want to share a link to the private practice website yet until it's done, just because that's just me. But yeah, so I'll probably share that tomorrow for my portfolio at least. But then again, that's stupid because I have a link to the private practice website on there, so maybe I'll just share them both. But yeah, very good day. Like I just had fun. Like I just had a lot of fun just like going back and forth. My portfolio and the private practice was just two things I just kept like putting off, but at the same time, like I had this long list of all these things I wanted to do. And like, like you don't really know where to start. So like you kind of just don't start. You kind of just say, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And so I finally just like put everything else to the side, knock these projects out or whatever. So now, I just have to make like little minor fixes that I find here and there as I get more projects. Just uncomment that code and add that second and third project or whatever. As far as the Talk to Do app, getting the CSS is fine. The rest of it, like I actually look at the JavaScript, it's really not as much JavaScript as I remembered. So breaking that up, I just want to practice using Webpack again, just because the Odin project, for that to-do app project, you were supposed to use Webpack and all that. So honestly, this is like, I got bored doing the to-do list, but maybe just because I was thinking of it as literally a regular to-do list. But like now that I added the whole speech recognition thing, now it's pretty much turning right back into that same Odin project just with my own little spin on it or whatever. So I guess in a sense I technically didn't skip the project or whatever. But anyway, so I'll do that. But yeah, so I do need to work on like blocking out time just to read and then don't do anything else. Now that I'm kind of at a good spot with all my little stuff that I wanted to knock out, now I can like reintegrate adding CS50 back in. or whatever, so I can go ahead and knock that class out, because I want to get into like Python and Flask. I think we still got like 2 or 3 more weeks of using C based on where I'm at in the class anyway. So I want to finish with C and like see what they're all about or whatever, because from my understanding, Flask is the back end, so that would be kind of cool. But yeah, as far as what I want to read, I had bought, I think, like a programmer and then Algorithms to Live By. However, now that I took that Codesmith online course plus all those challenges, Eloquent JavaScript makes so much more sense now. So I'm going to go actually pause those other 2 books, read Eloquent JavaScript, then while I'm still like dealing with JavaScript directly, then I'll go back and do those 2 algorithm books, because my plan is, once I finish this last project, go back and finish up my JavaScript with a certificate or whatever. I just have that one last section to finish, plus 4 out of 5 projects. I already did one of them. But yeah, so I figured algorithms plus working on algorithms will make more sense or whatever. But yeah, everything's pretty much coming together. Don't have too much longer to get to day 100. My plan is, by the time I get to day 100, I'll be at a point where I'm just knocking out job applications. Of course, I'm going to continue learning or whatever, but like, this was like the first step or the first chunk, like the front end part of it, I feel like. And then after that, I decided I'll go ahead and learn React. The Odin project, their section on React really isn't all that long, but I do have a Udemy course by John Smilga, which I'm just going to do that. That's like 40 hours long, I think. So I'll do that, and then I'll go on to Node and Express and MongoDB and all that. But yeah, everything's pretty much coming together. So yeah, day 83.